What's up, beautiful people? It's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video and it's titled Prince Harry should have been at the D-Day services. Crystal's royal roundup with Robert Bell. Interesting. I'm excited to check this one out to hear what they got to say. Let's check it out.
Good morning, Christo.
I'm disappointed you're not with a crown and scepter, I have to say.
Well, it looked like you more than me there, didn't it?
No, I know. Well, I think you should have one too, that we've all got one. Okay, I've got to start with a few of the bits and pieces around Prince Harry this week, because he's been given a green light to appeal this High Court ruling about the level of police protection he receives in the UK. He lost his legal challenge back in February against the Home Office's decision to change the level of personal security he gets when he visits the UK, and his lawyers arguing that he was singled out and treated less favourably in the decision. But the High Court have ruled that there was some procedural unfairness, so they may well be revisiting all of this.
Well, yes, because they said that he can appeal, and I think from Harry's legal standpoint is saying that that RAVEC, who are the governing responsible for producing the royal security, may have got things slightly wrong. That's what the subsequent appeal said, which in sharp contrast to the judge who heard the first court case, who reckoned Harry didn't have any sort of case to answer for. So I suppose from Harry's perspective, that is some sort of good news, because this is his main beef about why he would, even one of the excuses that why he didn't come to the Duke and Duchess of Westminster's wedding on Friday was because of the nature. He felt that the security he was going to be afforded wasn't up to what he thought would be right, even though that wedding was probably as secure a place to be in this country as anyway, given the fact that there were members of the royal family there and the high profile nature of it. So that's always his contention, why he won't come to this country unless it's under very sort of, I'm not saying extreme circumstances, but significant occasions, because he is not happy at any stage with the security that he is afforded.
I mean, is he happy at any stage of his life? I mean, he's arguing that he was singled out and treated less favourably when it came to the decision about his security, which mirrors the argument that he made during the book Spare, where he said that being the spare in the line of succession meant that he was singled out and treated less favourably, which mirrors the argument that they made about Meghan when she joined the royal family, whom they argue.
I don't understand the obsession or the constant obsession of Harry wanting to have security and whatnot. Like, when he decided to opt out of the royal family, what was his intention? Or didn't he know that it comes with a price and everything have got a price? Or what was he thinking? It just don't make sense, because him not being part of the royal family, or him choosing not to be part of the royal family but want some benefits that are attached to it, is not even making sense. But and I can't even imagine that, especially with the fact that he wasn't invited to the wedding. I can't even imagine what it would have been, because I mean, not being part of the royal family comes with a cost or comes with a price, and not attending some royal functions as well. But him say, well, he has said, is Harry ever happy with anything? Yo, let's go.
The spare in the line of succession meant that he was singled out and treated less favourably, which mirrors the argument that they made about Meghan when she joined the royal family, whom they argued was singled out and treated less favourably. I mean, that just seems to be their buzzword for anything. I mean, I swear, do they go to the supermarket and say, well, hang on, you're singling me out and treating me less favourably?
Well, I think the issue is that he's not the heir to the throne, so just by constitutional, they will be treated less favourably. It is a fact. So because they are not, what is he, fifth in line to the throne, I think, something like that. So for Harry, that is why he would never be the numero uno, because the line of succession is Charles, William, then George, and then his siblings. So, in a way, this is why Harry feels so aggrieved about the situation, and because he can't be center stage, and he feels he has a place to a big part to play. And yes, we did miss him, and he should have been at the D-Day celebrations, because as an ex-serviceman, it's something that was dear to his heart, and what he's done with Invictus, that would have been, if he was part of the royal family, a perfectly normal thing for him to be at, and he would have carried it off with great dignity, because he is popular when he does certain things, and was popular. But unfortunately, his mindset is that everything is a woe is me one. But the security, there is some... I have some degree of sympathy for him with regard to the security, because he is, whatever he says, and when he has separated from the royal family, he is still a member of that royal family. And he would say, I am a security risk. And he is definitely right there. But it's what level of protection is what is all being argued about, is how they get that right. And he feels that the current situation means that he can't bring him and his family here, even though I'm pretty sure they would be very safe if they did come here.
Okay, Rupert, we're going to come back to you if that's all right. I just want to bring you...
Well, let's even talk about this for a moment, because him not attending the D-Day, it would have been a good one for him to attend, with everything that is done. I mean, lots of people miss the old Harry, him attending functions and be his best self and stuff. So it's more like, if he is not the one complaining about something, it is his wife complaining about something. So almost like the both of them are just perfect and good duo for themselves. It's not even making sense. At least at this point, they should start learning how to work or do some things with by themselves. Hence, since they don't want both sides of their family in their lives, can't they do something for themselves? Like, honestly, at this point, it's just giving like children always wanting attention from their parents. It's not making sense. Honestly, it's not. But yeah, let's go on.
Now, what is this new title that apparently Meghan Markle has?
Well, she went to Nigeria because they went to Nigeria in this sort of quasi-royal visit, which was deemed initially to be about trying to drum up support for Nigeria to stage the Invictus Games, of which Harry is, of course, very much to the forefront and very much his project. But obviously part of the trip was Meghan rediscovering her Nigerian heritage. And she was given a title, and forgive me if my pronunciation is wrong, but it's Adetokunbo, is what it's her title, which reflecting her Nigerian status. She was given it by the Olowo of Owo, I think. But she is saying that she's very honored to have received this title. Some people have said, yes, well, this is great that she is reflecting her Dervish nature of her heritage. Others are people saying, well, it's all about me, and her being given a quasi title. So you pay your money and you takes your choice. But obviously part of the visit, which I'm sure was deemed to be about Invictus, but all the fallout from it seems to have been about Meghan, and Harry's role and significant role in trying to drum up support for Invictus seems to have been put on the back burner.
Was it about Invictus? I don't really remember Invictus being mentioned all that much, and it's difficult not to look at those sorts of visits not through the prism of them drumming up support not for Invictus but for whatever tat they plan on selling through American Riviera Orchard, because of course once you have crossed the Rubicon into trying to make money in a rather vulgar way, which I do believe that they do, it's difficult not to view anything through that perspective.
I think we have to view it through everything through Meghan's perspective. It's about, she wants to be the centre of attention. And this obviously going to Nigeria, she was fated wherever she went. She was loving it, that sort of side of it. It was a very controlled visit. Every bit was planned, even from the PR side of it. Only one magazine, I think, was allowed. One, maybe a Netflix camera crew, presumably, was in tow. So it was a very controlled visit on their terms, which is what they've always said they want to do, is things on their terms, rather than feeling they're beholden to another agency in terms of the royal family and the agenda they have. But which is what people are still struggling to come to terms with. They say they're going to do more of these. Has it done any good? Well, I don't know whether it managed to raise money for charity and the events they attended. I'm sure that it was done with good intentions, but you just feel that everything was designed to make Meghan look good, which is, but
wasn't she?
Every politician's trying to look good at the moment, and some are making a complete and utter holics of it.
But didn't she go on a sort of heritage pilgrimage to Malta a few years ago when she was in suits for a magazine article where she then announced that she was part Maltese?
Yes, she's got a diverse heritage, so she's exploiting everything. Yes, she did. I can't remember exactly when she did it, but that was back in the early teens, presumably.
Do you know what, Rupert? I think I might be from a luxury resort in the Maldives. I really can sense that I might have some familial connection. So I think I should be sent there to explore that. Rupert, would you pay?
No, not you, Christo. But I'm sure you've got a lovely island somewhere in the Mediterranean that you may be coming from with your name. I can presumably
get me that magazine deal. Get me that magazine deal to get me there.
But I mean, yeah.
Oh no, this is because I'm trying to understand from year to year. Only you want Nigeria, only you want Malta, only you want America, only you want, like, pick your struggle now. Let us even know where you are from. But of course, just like you said, them coming to Nigeria, it was all controlled. They wanted to look so good, picture perfect and everything, looking brand worthy. So it was all controlled from their perspective, and it has to be seen through their lens or from their perspective. But at this point, even me, it looks like I'm the only one that have not done this heritage thing. So let me go and do the heritage and know where I'm from. Maybe I am not even Nigerian. I may be from somewhere, maybe Kafanchan. No, Kafanchan is also in Nigeria. Maybe I should go and do it too, because maybe there should be questions that is not being answered. I mean, what do you think? This one is called Confusion Pro Max. You want to connect everywhere. You want to be everywhere. Here. Pick a struggle and stay one place. This one is like a child that will complain and they will give biscuits. And tomorrow the child will say, no, they don't want biscuit, they want chocolate. Next thing they come, they say they want a burger or meat pie or something. Pick a struggle. Let us know where you are, so we will not be confused. Because at this point, she will get a new title, Princess of the World. But the name that what she was given in Nigeria though is Adetukumbo. That's its pronunciation though. People will not finish me, because this is funny, but it's not funny. But let's go on.
Get me there.
But I mean, yeah, look, they're obviously looking at every angle of PR, and one of the things, the race side of it, the Nigerian heritage. Well, you can understand that's a huge market to promote into, just by the sheer scale of it. So it may not be the worst business move, but as I come back to it, the original intention was to promote Invictus, but that seems to have got lost in the fallout as we further reflect on Meghan's tour with her husband.
Now, we heard today that King Charles won't slow down or do what he's told, says Queen Camilla. Apparently he's doing fine. She was speaking to the novelist Lee Child, who appeared at the Queen's Reading Room Festival at Hampton Court. This was yesterday. She said he's doing fine, but won't slow down and won't do what he's told. I mean, I do have a vision of her sort of barricading the doors of some of the palaces. I made this point when I did the royal tea a few weeks ago, that I wonder if Queen Camilla is actually a little bit relieved that during the election campaign, protocol calls for King Charles to not have quite such a public profile whilst the election campaign is taking place. I wonder if Queen Camilla is a little bit relieved by that, because actually it means that he's being forced to slow down a little bit.
I don't think this time of year, royal protocol or election or not, the kind of events that he would be going at are sort of be above politics. And so we've got the Trooping of the Colour next weekend, the King's Birthday Parade, which he will be at, and various other sort of states, the ceremonies, royal ascot and other things. So slowing down is not on his agenda, never has been. He's always been a workaholic, and he's bitterly frustrated that he's not able to do as many public-facing duties as he would like. But you can imagine that the Queen is probably regularly trying to say, you've got to take a breath every so often to try and help your recovery, which, bearing in mind, he was at the D-Day celebrations and a very prominent role in that, which he was desperate to attend. So many of these things, he just feels his duty and his sense of duty.
Yes.
And that's why he finds it very frustrating that he's having to slow down because of his cancer diagnosis and treatment.
Yeah.
Well, he's his mother's son. Look at his mother. It's widely now accepted that she was, suffering from that form of cancer in the years before she died, or at least in the year before she died, yet was still carrying out duties. And when you consider the incredible pain she must have been in, he really is. I mean, there's no question that he is heading for the demise that she, of course, went through, but she was, of course, much older. But the point I'm making is that that's the example he's had set. You just carry on, you keep working.
Yeah, and one of the mantras of the royal family, we need to be seen, to be relevant. And so he's very mindful of that. And that was one of his mother's things. We need to be out there so that people can associate with us. And that was, if you even go back to the Second World War, that's why the King and the Queen Mother at that stage didn't want to go out of London. They could have done, but they said, no, we need to be seen in London with everybody else who is suffering to make sure we're seen as relevant. And that's very much something that has gone through not only with the late Queen, but the King takes that responsibility very seriously. And that's what's frustrating him, as he's only relatively recently come to be king. He wants to have a full and active role in that. And obviously this cancer diagnosis has prevented that from happening. But it's good that he's out there. He's been at high profile events.
Is he still getting treatment at the moment, or has his treatment ended? Do you know? I mean, you might not know, but...
I'm not, like none of us, we're not privy to exactly the treatment, and we will never, ever hear that. We just know that he has been undergoing treatment and by all accounts is recovering well. Look, he's been at he was at the Derby last weekend as well. So he's out and about now trying to lead as full and active life as he can, given the constraints. But he isn't a man who doesn't sit still easily. So this is why he's frustrated. So you can understand the Queen quietly saying to everybody, look, it's tough keeping him under control.
By the way, just one final thing, and I happen to agree with you on the Harry security thing, actually, that he does deserve a level of it here in the UK. But someone's made this point here, and I just briefly want you to address it. Harry doesn't feel safe in the UK, but Nigeria is okay. I mean, I wonder what your perspective is on that he seems to be okay visiting other countries, but has a problem with what's happening here in the UK with his security.
I think the listener is absolutely right. You actually look at it and say, is Nigeria, and particularly some of the places he was going to, as safe as being in this country? So I think there is a point. But again, he controls that, and I'm sure the Nigerian government pulled out all the stops to ensure it was as safe as possible. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone. But that Nigerian government presumably had to foot some of the bill for that. I don't know for sure whether Harry and his Invictus team were prepared to pay for the security. So it'd be interesting to know the fallout from that. But it does seem to be a strange one that Nigeria is okay, but Great Britain isn't.
Really good to talk to you. Thank you, Rupert.
My thoughts exactly with King Charles and him not slowing down, because I mean, with everything that is missed due to the cancer treatment and recovery and everything, he wants to make up for those times and be up and working and about. And it's not even uncommon to see that, because this is something that he has been waiting for almost all his life, and now that it's time for him to serve, he got sick and stuff. So I mean, now that he's making full recovery or making some sort of recovery, you want to make up for those lost time, which is not uncommon to see. But let's talk about Prince Harry for a moment and the safety, and him worrying about his safety. Exactly the same thing. So he is worried about his safety in the UK, but not worried about other places or other parts. Like, make it make sense. And yeah, regarding the question about coming to Nigeria, safety and whatnot. It's not uncommon for people to have their questions about Nigeria, if Nigeria is safe or if Nigeria is dangerous and stuff. Because I mean, we see this all the time, and lots of people always think the worst of Nigeria to be like Nigeria is not a safe country, but Nigeria is actually safe. And lots of people, because of the information that have been portrayed by the media, they always think Nigeria is not safe, so they want to always have security or want to be with security and stuff to think that they are not safe being in Nigeria. But what people don't realize is how the exact same way you see like some places are not safe is the exact same thing that happens in other parts of the world. Nigeria is not that chaotic or that dangerous that people cannot live in Nigeria. And honestly, I understand the place they are coming from asking those necessary questions, because I mean, sometimes the media portrays some certain image about a place and you wonder like, oh yeah, that is how everybody is, or that is how the entire place is, when in real sense sometimes it is not. It is just the media putting out the worst of the place to be that way. So yeah, they are not wrong for having their questions, asking those questions about Nigeria. But also him, how he visited Nigeria, I want to believe that the people who invited him and his wife to Nigeria, they would always make room for good security for him and his team and make sure that they are safe during their visit to Nigeria. But again, I'm still trying to understand like the part where he's worried about his security worried about the security in the UK. But again, if he is worried about the security in the UK, he has every reason to, which is best known to him. But this is interesting though. Let me know your thoughts in the comment down below. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I really love to share that. You can share the useful information and think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.